Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and I'm here with part 12 of What If Naruto Universe had Quirks. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series of the other channels. I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto was a prodigy from the Senju, Uzumaki, and Uchiha clan guys, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. I also post a brand new episode of What If Naruto's Banished and Made Them Regret It, so go ahead check out that and enjoy. And over on Anime Prince, I post a brand new movie of What If Naruto was sent to the Teen Titan universe, so go ahead check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new, yes I indeed have 4 channels, all links will be in the description, so go ahead and check them out guys. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So the last time we left off, we were at the tournament part of the exam, as everyone was geared up and ready. The first battle to commence was Menma versus one of the Kira ninjas, who had boosters that allow him to move at insane speeds. As he went up against Menma, but the thing was, Menma teleportation made it difficult for the guy to keep up, as Menma showed how ruthless he was and ended the fight rather quickly. With that said and done, as Naruto had his eyes closed, not really paying attention to anything that was currently going on, his mind was locked in deep thought. There was a lot that he had to go through mentally right now, as Naruto was furious. The things that he found out about his father, what his father plotted for him. Naruto wanted the man to suffer in the most heinous way possible. However, he had to plan first, knowing that he could not just go through with that. Otherwise, he would be captured and put to, well, death. Because at this level, there was no way that he could hope to defeat his father. With the power that he possessed, it would not be easy. Menma was already showing incredible growth with his new power, and his father was a pro at it, so he had to be careful. Several more matches went off as Naruto found none of them interesting. He didn't watch any of them. As Kiba lost to a girl from Kumo, Naruto barely paid attention to anything that was going on. However, when Mikasa's name was called, he watched as she went down there to face off against Mito. The match started with the both of them being rather even as they clashed, attacking one another. However, Mikasa also used ninja skills in her fighting, despite her having a rather powerful quirk. Mito used her kunais and her chains mostly, as she barely focused on any other weapon or anything. As that was her downfall because Mikasa was planning for this, seeing how her quirk worked. The battle became furious as Mito used her chain, but that was a mistake as she blocked her view from the outside world. That is when Mikasa used her papers as an explosion and destroyed the area. Mito was badly wounded, but she was still in the fight. The fight that followed was rather brutal between the both of them, as Mikasa really hated her. Maybe it's because she had Naruto memories and saw what this bitch put him through, as she knew that she was a cruel, wicked bitch, so she deserved anything that was coming to her. As Mito lost in the end, suffering from major slash and cuts all over her body. Luckily for her, she had the 9 tails, so she wouldn't be badly scarred. As Mikasa was taken to the infirmary to get healed up as well. As Naruto watched her leave, knowing that she would be back very soon. Naruto also picked up on someone, as someone was down there with more quirks than usual. As Naruto could sense out people quirk now. He could not tell what they were yet, but he could feel their quirk. He could feel how powerful it was, and that guy down there with the girl beside him. He could also tell that they were under some kind of transformation jutsu, hiding their real view to the world. As Naruto did not know why though. More matches went on until Naruto's name was called, to face off against none other than Gaara. because Kage was rather proud to see his son participate, knowing that Gaara was a whiz when it comes to these kind of things, and there was no way that he can lose. The Raikage, who had Samui win earlier, was confident, believing that she could dominate the rest of the fights. The Tishikage had a smirk on his face as his granddaughter was still in this. However, the Mizukage was pissed off seeing that his members had already been dropped out. With that out of the way, the fight began, as what followed was something rather shocking. Everyone see that Naruto was using more quirk than he should be. As they watched intently, many gasps and whispers went around. However, the Kages came to the realization that he had more than one, as Minato made it rather obvious by stating a few facts, as they realized that Naruto could steal other people's quirk. As for Gaara quirk was useless against Naruto, him being able to turn his body into sand, so Naruto used the ear to spread his ice particles, so whenever Gaara reverted to sand, he became slow and sludgy and frozen up. As Naruto dominated the match, Gaara would not take that lying down though. For majority of his life, he was told that he was blessed with a quirk that set him aside from anyone else. Even at a young age, he was already showing signs of surpassing his father in the quirk that he used. And with the tail beast inside of him, he was a powerhouse. He was not gonna lose. Gaara started to rage out as he drew on the power of the beast. He didn't have full control, but he was trained how to control said power in order to maximize his quirk. He pulled all the sand together, forming the beast as Naruto faced off against him. The battle was a really dangerous, bloody one. However, Naruto ended up destroying the thing by freezing its legs and blasting it right through the stomach. Gaara ended up falling down as Naruto and him were trapped inside of the cloud of sand as Naruto tried to steal his quirk. However, as Naruto was trying to, Gaara came to and blasted him away. The sand that is, as Naruto ended up bringing down tremendous force, crushing Gaara head into the ground, knocking him out. The problem was Naruto did not get to steal Gaara's quirk, as the medics came and took Gaara away. However, Naruto did feel something coursing through him, as when the match was called in his favor, Naruto made his way to check his body. He somehow still got Gaara's quirk, but it wasn't perfect, it was off. That is when Naruto was visited by someone. Turning, Naruto saw none other than Itachi Uchiha, the mysterious one that he always wanted to wonder what his quirk was. He heard that it was rather powerful, as he answered Itachi's question, as Itachi asked him things that Naruto did not want to say, but he did. That is when he found himself that he couldn't control what he was saying. He was revealing things to Itachi, but Itachi knew his deep hatred for his father and his hate against everything around him. Naruto was shocked, as he was planning on killing Itachi right there and then, but Itachi told him that he wanted to help him. Now that was a shocker. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought you guys can switch across the place, check it for yourself, and yeah, don't forget to go ahead and check out other series and other channels. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. Naruto stood in front of none other than Itachi Uchiha as he looked at the man. As Naruto was biting down hard, so he did not talk. He was confused. Somehow Itachi was able to get him to reveal things that he should not, and now he say that he wants to help him. However, Naruto did not trust him. Slowly but surely, an ice dagger started forming Naruto's hand. It would be ill-advised for you to try to kill me right now. Naruto froze. How did he? As he looked towards Itachi, who simply gave him a soft smile. The smile seemed off-putting and strange. Killing me will not help speed up your plans, or will they help gain what you seek? However, allowing me to live, Itachi said, will be greatly beneficial for you. As Naruto wondered if he could actually take him though. From what he heard, he was powerful, but the way he was talking, something didn't seem right. Something did not seem right in the slightest. Itachi then reached into his shirt as Naruto gripped the dagger. However, he pulled out a piece of paper. He then held it out towards Naruto. Take this. All the answer you need, I will provide. All you have to do is be there. Once this whole charade is over. Naruto heard when he said that word. He spoke it with so much disdain. He was upset about this whole sports festival going on. As Naruto reached up and took the paper still, not trusting himself to speak, as he had no idea what he did to him. But his quirk must be some kind of compulsion, some kind of control. because Naruto couldn't stop himself when Itachi had asked. Taking the piece of paper, Naruto did not open it. As he looked towards the man, "I hope to see you soon," he said. With that, he walked away. Naruto was more confused than going into this. As he opened said paper, it was an address. To meet after the festival was over. As Naruto watches, Itachi was now gone. None of this made any sense. If he knew so much, why would he want to help him? If he knew all that, he would know that Naruto plans involve the downfall of Konoha, but yet, there was something about him that Naruto could not understand. But Naruto could tell that he would not reveal anything. But he had to be prepared just in case. But a part of him was telling him that Itachi was not gonna say anything. He was not sure why, but he just believed that was the case. But in case, he had to be prepared to slaughter his way out of this place. As Naruto glanced back down towards his hand, the center of his hand opened up. As it was now comprised out of sand before, it returned back to normal. That is when Naruto felt it once again. The amount of time that he needed to take Gaara's quirk, it did not go through. Then what was this? Why could he now manipulate sand? Why could he turn his body into sand? As Naruto felt it inside of him, this was unlike his quirk. This was something different. A strange power was coursing through his veins. As it felt so strange and connected, which made no sense. Naruto walked away, trying to get his mind clear, as a strange power was jumping up and down inside his body. He felt so cut off, like he was in need of something. Something that was so close but yet out of his reach. As Naruto made his way, arriving back towards the location, Naruto felt it. It was like a beacon, about to slam into him. Glancing up as Naruto tried to find that source, as he checked everywhere until he came across the source. It was Menma. What the hell? It was Menma. Why was he being attracted to Menma? What happened when he tried to steal Gaara's quirk? Because he was sure that he did not take Gaara's quirk, the time did not go through properly. So what the hell did he take? And why? Was it connected to Menma? Why did it feel connected to everything else? Naruto shook his head, trying to focus. As the sense was so overwhelming, he had to turn away and stop looking towards Menma. Sitting down on the ground, Naruto closed his eyes as he started to meditate. However, as he was trying to clear his mind, what he received was backlash of an explosion of power right to his right. The person near to him was none other than Menma. Despite their distance, Naruto could feel it. This could not be Menma. There was no way that he had this much power inside of him. But this didn't make sense. What was this power? The only thing that Menma had was it hit him. The fox. The Kyuubi. Naruto's eyes snapped open. Gaara was also a holder of a tail beast, the One Tails. But what does that mean? Naruto closed back his eyes as he decided to dive deeper into this strange power that he just felt. And what he felt was a connection. As he snapped his head to the left, he could feel the sources, but they were so far away. Naruto opened his eyes. Well, that's interesting, he thought to himself. He was right, he did not take Gaara's power. What he took was some of the power of the One Tails. But how? What happened in their little interaction that caused him to gain the power of the One Tails? For as long as he thought he could only steal quirks. But why did he steal the power of the One Tail? And why was it so similar to Gaara's quirk? And why was he now connected? Was all of them connected? Usually, Naruto can feel all people quirk around him. That is why he was able to tell that guy down there that was looking towards Mikasa with such a warm look had more than one quirk. But now he could feel them all so strongly. In fact, he could kind of feel the difference between the quirks. Most quirk users had alterations on their bodies that caused him to stand out, as Naruto could feel that, signifying that they were different. This power that he had just stolen, could it have connected him deeply to the quirks around the world? But why? And why was it connected? No, he shouldn't be surprised. There was 9 tail beasts, they must be connected in a way. But what was their connection to quirks? Naruto had no idea what it meant, but he was sure that he could use this to his advantage. But the thing was, he was not sure if he would stay with this power or would it run out. If he did take some of the tail beast chakra, would it go away, burn out of his system? The more he used the quirk of Gaara, he was not sure. He will find out about it later though, as the break was over. Those that passed through would be going on to the second round, as they were already finished with the board. Naruto's eyes roamed over the area as he noticed Itachi. Itachi was not looking at him, but he sat calmly as Naruto watched him, still wondering what he did to him. Was it compulsion? He knew what he was saying, but yet he couldn't stop himself. No, that was weird. Glancing over, Naruto saw Mikasa. As he saw, there was a few bandages on her, but she seemed fine. She noticed him looking at her. As their eyes met, Naruto simply looked away. It seems that Mito had not fully recovered yet because she was nowhere to be seen. Menma had a look of anger in his eyes as he was aimed towards Mikasa. Seeing his sister get the crap beaten out of her would do that, of course. Sasuke, who had won his match, was here as well. The girl from the Hidden Stone, the granddaughter of Kage, was here as well. There was also the girl from Kumo, and Hinata was here as well. As Naruto glanced towards her, she felt it as she turned towards him. She gave him a look as she proceeded to lick her lips, as Naruto simply ignored her. She thought that he was one of her puppies that she could play with, seeing how she played with Kiba. However, she did not know who she was dealing with. Soon enough he was gonna show her though. Up in the Kage's boot, as the Kages were rather silent. The reason being, their minds were whirling to think that someone in this world could actually steal people's quirk. Through generations, people had hoped that someone was born with that quirk within their village. Of all the places to receive said quirk, Konoha was the worst one to receive it. And now, their strength has just grown. And to make matters worse, he was the son of the damn Hokage. His loyalty would be ensured. Many of them were pissed off as they decided to remain quiet. There was a bit of talking or looking down or muttering, but no more talking like before. Minato knew that this would happen. Once again, Konoha showed the other nations that they were not someone to be trifled with. And once he was done training Naruto, the other villages would be afraid to make a move against them. He would make sure of that. The first match was about to begin. It was Hinata versus Samui. As both girls made their way down there, Samui, calm as ever, as Hinata looked down towards her, pissed off that she was trying to steal one of her dogs. Despite her gentle, calm attitude, that is the way she saw Kiba as her little puppy. He does whatever she say, and he treats her like a queen. She was not with him, of course, however. She didn't make him think that way, by patting him on the head or caressing his cheek, or hugging him in a rather long, eccentric way most times, to make him believe that he had a hold on her, when she was the one actually having him under complete control. He was her loyal dog, her pet, and she wanted Naruto as her pet as well. He has proven to be an outlaw, a bad boy, and if there was one thing that Hinata loved, it was to take people and place them under her control, and Naruto was a rebel that didn't seem to follow anyone's control, so it was a challenge, a fun, amazing challenge for her. Seeing that for a majority of her life she was raised to be the goody two-shoes, to be the pristine member of the Hyuga clan. However, she was far from that. She was a manipulative, quite psychotic bitch who does anything she wants to get whatever she wants. She would go beyond any extent. However, Samui was her worst opponent. Samui's hair was not just a figment of plants. It was actually plants. She could not control other plants around the area, but her hair was comprised of plants. Cut it, slice it, it regrew. The proctor told the both of them to begin, as Hinata did not waste any time. She quickly created a water whip and lashed it out, having a great control as the water whip came towards Samui. Samui here shot forward in several water whips. Hinata grabbed the first one, when her water dematerialized and splash. The one that hooked onto Samui's hair had dematerialized. No, it had been absorbed. Hinata had to leap away. Good thing that she was, well, rather flexible, given her intense Hyuga training, but she then realized something. You're here. It absorbed my water. Well, if you have not seen correctly, my hair is comprised of plants. I'm afraid that I'm your worst opponent. You will not be winning this match. Hinata simply smirked at that. Oh, you really believe that, she said. There's more than one way I can use my quirk. And besides, let's see how much you can take. She brought her hands together before her body started to shimmer. The water off her body started to create clones. Hundreds. Hundreds of clones filled the area. Their body was comprised slowly of water. It seems like you didn't understand when I just explained about my quirk, said Samui as her hair lashed out. Grabbing the clones and absorbing them, she destroyed the area. Hinata used the opportunity to rush in, however, Samui simply smirked. The groan exploded in front of Hinata as several tentacular vines erupted outwards. Hinata didn't realize that the girl had sent her hair underground. Using her kunai, she lashed out and tried to cut it, however, her kunai got stuck. It was thick, more thick than she thought. Hinata took in a breath before she shot a water bullet straight from her mouth, going straight towards the forehead of Samui. But the girl simply turned. Upon her turning, the entire groan was ripped apart, the full brunt of her hair coming out. The more water she absorbed in her hair, the thicker and stronger it got. Hinata was blasted off the ground as she was thrown back, smashing across the ground hard. Samui did not let up as she rushed forward, her hair fluttering in the sky. They came down like whips as Hinata rolled and jumped. One of them struck her in the leg. She cried out. Samui did not waste any time as she grabbed her right leg and yanked her forward. However, Hinata had her Byakugan activated, deciding to retort to methods that were for the quirkless. She spun. Mid-air, a dome of chakra spun around her. It was not meant to be perfect, just enough to break it. The chakra ripped the hair apart. As Hinata was now falling, kunai in hand, she aimed it right towards the girl's forehead. But Samui simply looked at her with a calm expression. I told you, I was your worst opponent, maybe, if you had another quirk, but in this, you fail. Samui's hair wrapped around her body as Hinata kunai slammed against it. The kunai was absorbed, so was Hinata's hand. That is when her body was assaulted by ear whips. The vines whipped across her back and her chest in the most painfulest way possible. Hinata cried out as she was blasted across the arena. She dropped in a bloody mess, several lacerations and cuts all over her skin as she was bleeding. Samui stepped forward, her hair waving dangerously. However, the proctor arrived. As he decided to call the match, Mifune realized there was no point of going on. This girl had her beat. The right Kage was able to place on a smug smile on his face, at least for the victory of Samui, but his mind was still wrapped around that boy and his ability to steal other people's quirks. That would not leave his mind, as Samui was announced the winner. Hinata's glare was vicious as she got taken off. Her quirk was really a handicap in this match, as Samui was her worst opponent. She had just empowered the girls here by using water. Samui calmly made her way back up. As Naruto glanced over towards her, her quirk was definitely useful, quite powerful as well, and it was like an ultimate defense. She didn't have to do much to control it. Well, Raikage-dano, said Minato, that girl of yours is a sure powerful one. Yes, that she is, Raikage said, knowing that the bastard Hokage was doing this to rub his nose into it. Because whenever anything was now brought up, their mind quickly went back towards a boy that was able to steal other people's quirks. Despite the relationship between the San and Konoha, the Kazekage was also not pleased as well. This was a game changer, that boy. A quirk like that was not supposed to exist, and now with it in the hands of Konoha, Their strength and powers just skyrocketed even more. Being an ally of the village, one would think that the ally would be happy for their, well, village counterpart gaining more strength. However, more and more time has shown that Minato was only out for the beneficial of Konoha despite them being allies. More and more the son was being pushed into the background, and Raza was not pleased. Here he thought that his son was going to be a game changer, that Gaara, at such a young age, being able to use his quirk even to some better degrees than himself. But no, that boy was able to completely dominate him, and not to mention fighting with him using the power of the Ichibai. That boy was a threat. He was going to be a problem to the elemental nation. And Raza was sure. He was sure what all of the other Kages were thinking. That boy has to die. Oniki thought. Yagra thinking the same thing. The Raikage thinking the same thing. Raza even thinking the same thing. However, Minato was smirking in his mind. They had no idea what they were up against. Konoha would now show and make it be known for generations to come that they were the strongest, and they will always be that way. And his son was going to be the leading, driving force behind that. That brought a smirk in Minato's face. He already had something on his mind, something that he's been working on for some time now, ever since he found about his son Quirk, the ultimate task force. As he chuckled darkly to himself. Back down below, with the arena now placed back together, the next match was Kurosaki versus Naruto. As Naruto calmly made his way down, he noticed a glint in that girl's eye. She was the granddaughter of the teacher Kage. His father had told him to show anyone that he faced from another village no mercy. After all, they had to show Konoha image to be great. As he thought about his father, he felt boiling rage inside of him. The thought of ripping out his throat. The thought of causing him mayhem, suffering, and pain that was hard to imagine was just so wonderful. For them to watch, those so-called family members calling themselves his family. As he heard, his so-called mother shouted to do his best. Naruto glanced up towards her, hatred in his eyes, making sure that she did not see it. It was not time. It was not time. However, his time in Konoha was limited. Hey, brat. Naruto turned to face the girl that was addressing him as a brat. Did she not just witness what he did to Gaara? How could she be so cocky? Tell me something. Those whole bunch of quirks that you use, are you able to copy other people's quirks? And if I can do something like that, why should I give away to you? Why should I give you my own surprising maybe chance of victory? Huh. You think you can win this? Well, let me tell you something. Just because you defeated that sand guy, it doesn't mean that you win against me. So you believe that you're stronger than Gaara, said Naruto. Yes, she said to him. Because you have no idea what I'm capable of. And those stolen quirks of yours are not going to give you a victory. Is that so? Said Naruto. Are you two ready? Mifune asked. They nodded. Let the second match of the semifinals between Naruto and Kurosaki begin. As everyone was on the edge of their seat to witness this match. The granddaughter of Oniki and the son of Minato. Well then, Tsuchikage-dano, said Minato, it seems our lineage will be the one fighting today. Let's see how they match up against each other. Oniki did not say anything though, as his eyes was looking towards Kurosaki. She felt her grandfather as she turned. She could feel someone staring back of her head. When their eyes met, he gave her a signal to kill. Hearing that, she turned back towards Naruto. A look came on her face, a wicked one. Well, seems I don't have to pull my punches, she said. And who told you to do that in the first place? After all, I want you to come at me with your best. It's only then you will accept your loss when you do lose. You cocky piece of shit. Let me prove to you that you and I are not on the same level. The moment she said that, an arrow appeared. Her quirk, arrow. It shot forward at blinding speeds. Naruto dodged, but the thing turned in mid-air and came towards him from the back. As Naruto turned, but three more appeared. Naruto blinked in shock. He did not know they were this fast. He jumped up in the air, but she sent 4 more. Naruto had to skip backs on several occasions as she created 6 more. He was now surrounded from all angles. Bringing his hand down, a gigantic wall of ice surrounded him, blocking all of them. The arrows struck it with tremendous force. They were almost breaking through. These were no normal arrows, infused with their chakra to become stronger. As they struck it, the more force they used, the more chakra she used up. However, her numbers were almost unlimited when she was using plain simple arrows just to catch her opponents off guard, and in their normal form they could actually pierce your skin. Just go to show how dangerous her quirk was. After all, she was some kind of a high life prodigy within a hidden stone, known to be one of the greatest since a long while. Her quirk being very deadly, offensive and defensive as well, given the way she used it. As Naruto was stuck in his ice cocoon, there as he closed his eyes, as he could feel them striking against his ice cocoon, he could feel the numbers increasing one after another. Her limit was something that he could not focus on at the moment. He had to get to her. Once he reached her, he could end this quickly. As Naruto shattered the ice, upon doing so, the arrows that were struck in it was blown away. As Naruto then moved using his yo-yo technique, as Naruto's hand was about to grip her neck to yank her back with him. However, what he grabbed was not her neck. What he grabbed was arrows. Naruto was shocked as the arrows were on her skin. They had become 2-dimensional, and they were flat on her skin. But the moment Naruto touched them, they awoken and stabbed into his hand. Naruto flinched back in pain. As he reappeared at his spot, Kurosaki reached towards her neck. "Damn, you're fast," she said. "However, I was prepared for this." She brought her hand up as more arrows appeared. She then brought them as they flattened themselves out and placed themselves against her skin. So as you can see, I'm well protected. As Naruto ripped said arrows out of his hand and crushed them, realizing the strength in these ones are much weaker. As he realized something, she could also turn them 2-dimensional and flatten them against her body. However, he could tell that she was using more chakra to make them stronger. Her normal arrows were pretty weak. His blood, not even a single drop had fallen from his hand as Naruto controlled it. Up in the booth, Menma was watching. As he was watching the girl carefully. She's something, alright, Sasuke said from beside him. Yeah, that quirk of hers. It's not only offensive but it's also defensive. Well, this is good, Sasuke said. Let her use him as a pin cushion and target practice, giving away her secrets. So when we do fight her, she won't stand a chance. Mikasa glanced towards them. As Menma noticed that as he glanced towards her. "What?" he said. "Oh, excuse me. I wasn't aware that these eyes belong to you. You can't tell me where to look. Well, if you're gonna look anywhere, I suggest you don't focus on me with those eyes of yours." Once again, I wasn't aware that they belong to you. You should really watch your mouth. After what you did to my sister, it's not wise for you to speak to me as you are right now. Oh, please. I put your sister in her place, just like you did for the other ninjas. Do you think I give a damn about who she was? I would do the same to any of you. I really hope I get to fight you. And you're gonna regret what happened. Trust me. Well, I really hope I get to fight you as well, so I can place you in the same state that your sister is currently in. Menma clenched his fists as he gave her a harsh glare, but she simply glared back at him. As he turned away, down below, as Naruto had yet to move. "What? Have you given up?" she asked. "No. You should be the one giving up." "And why is that?" "Because if you don't, I'm going to hurt you badly. In fact, I might enjoy it," said Naruto. "On the other hand, you should continue to fight me. You've shown that you are superior in your mind." "What?" "Yes, you believe that this match will end with your victory. However, you've already lost. Now that I see what your quirk can actually do, yes, it's powerful, but it won't win. It won't allow you to go on, because you lose right here and now. And in the process, you're gonna get horribly disfigured. That is what will happen. You little cocky shit. You actually believe that you can win this. I don't know where you got your delusional mind from, given that I was the first one to draw blood. Do you see me bleeding, Naruto asks. She looked toward his hand and raised an eyebrow at that. It doesn't matter. The next blow will be your last. I'm gonna end you right here and now. So say night night. As Naruto simply smirked, but it was not one of humor. Come then, he said. Upon saying that, she created at least 30 arrows around her before she shot them all forward. Once she did, Naruto dashed forward as he slashed, tearing through them. Everyone watched as the arrows were ripped and broke apart. Kurosaki started to create more and more. However, he was relentless. His speed, she jumped back, moving as far away as possible, but his feet cracked into the ground. And he shot off with such a booming speed. The whole ground shook. Naruto's body had grown immensely powerful after absorbing quirks after quirks. However, after taking the power of Gaara, the tail beast's power, it seemed to have fused with the system, pushing his limits past what they were before. He was fast before, but now his speed, his stamina, his strength. Naruto rushed forward, but she was not done. She slammed her hands together and created over 100 arrows. Now you die, she said as she brought her hand down. Everyone's eyes widened as she brought them down towards him. Seeing them coming, Naruto raised his hand up before he brought it down and slammed it on the ground. What followed was a gigantic spear of ice that towered over everything. Kurosaki had to leap out of the way, using her arrows to throw her body far away as she almost got destroyed by that thing. Several people's eyes went wide. Luckily for them, the barrier kept the thing away from skewering them. Kurosaki senior shot that several of her arrows had not been destroyed. She brought her hand down as they struck in Naruto's back. Two slammed into his side. Two slammed into his shoulder. One slammed right into his cheek. Everyone's eyes widened. He's done for. People start to mutter. He was strong, but her arrows are really deadly. Naruto reached up toward his face and gripped the thing before he tore it out. No blood at all on it, as Naruto was able to stabilize his blood. The thing was, the wounds were small. Kurosaki was clenching her fist tight as she was trying to get the arrows to pierce through him, but they would not go in. That is when she noticed smoke coming from his wounds. Cold smoke. As Naruto turned to face her, his face healing up. As I said, you won't win this. In fact, it's already over. He bolted towards her. She quickly created two arrows as she rushed forward, intending on driving them right through his eye sockets, through his brain. They met in the middle as she sliced. Naruto ducked. She brought the arrow down, but Naruto moved back. She thrust it towards his chest, creating 5 in total around him, as she aimed them towards the back of his neck. That is when the whips came out of his back and destroyed them. Shit. I almost forgot about that, she thought. She jumped back until a whip grabbed her leg and drew her forward. Her eyes went wide. She created several arrows, however, as she shot them towards Naruto's face. Naruto opened his mouth as his teeth elongated. Zabuza's quirk, as he was able to transform the sea monster after all, as Naruto chopped down and destroyed them. She tried to move away, but it was too late as Naruto slashed. Her cry could be heard all throughout the stadium. As Naruto slashed once again, she cried out, but this time he went down towards her chest, the stomach area, and slashed. Blood splattered as Naruto slashed once again. As his face got covered in blood, he slashed once again. That is when Mifune and his guards arrived on the scene, stopping him. Kurosaki was unable to fight, barely holding on. That's enough. Naruto turned his gaze towards Mifune. Even the old war veteran samurai was shaken by that gaze. as Naruto's face was drenched in blood. As for Kurosaki, her face was badly. It was done badly by Naruto. Her chest area and her stomach was also ripped. The doctors quickly took her and rushed off as fast as possible. Oniki was shaking in rage as he saw his granddaughter in that state. But there was nothing that he can do to the boy in this area. As Naruto was there, drenched in blood, the look on his face, he did not care. That is when Kushina saw it. For the first time she saw that look in his eyes, and it scared her. It scared the living crap out of her. She never saw Naruto like this before. The bloodlust, the look of no empathy. Naruto had scarred that girl really badly. So far, no one has went to the, limit and killed anyone. However, if Mifune did not stop him, he would have ripped her throat clean open. But if he wanted to do that, he could have done that from the start, because it wouldn't have reached him in time. However, he did it on purpose to scar her and join her misery. It brought him pleasure. Kushina was terrified of that look in his eyes. As Mikasa looked towards her friend, seeing how shaken she was, as Naruto turned towards his mother, and a smile came on his face. Not a smile of happiness, a sick, sadistic one. Kushina wanted to believe that this was just him being caught up in a battle. However, the way he looked at her, Minato also noticed the look as well. As Naruto dropped the smile and walked away. Getting a cloth, Naruto wiped his face, wiping off the blood off himself, as he did not need any medical help. He did notice something though. His face had healed. That was interesting. He thought to himself, his blood quirk allowed him to control the blood in his body, but not heal his skin. As Naruto's mind was whirling through possibilities and thoughts that he couldn't have think of before, there was a new opening for him. New things that was out there for him to gain more power. And he was excited. As Naruto was announced the winner as he made his way back up, Menma was watching him carefully, seeing how bloodlusted he was. And he wanted that girl to suffer rather than kill her right away, because his claws were long enough to rip out her throat. Zabuza quirk, allowing one to shift their hand towards sword-like features. It was the same quirk of his, reptilian in water. Because of the sharp teeth and the claws, Naruto was using that. But when Zabuza turned into a serpent, it was more a serpent of blades, seeing that it had features that were meant to slice, as Naruto could control it just like Zabuza did. However, the action caught the attention of the Mizukage, as he saw when Naruto had bit those arrows. Hokage-dano, he said, "Yes, your boy there wouldn't have happened to run into a missing nin of mine. And who would that be?" "Zabuza Momokai." I'm not sure," said Minato. "Why do you ask?" "That quirk that you just used is rather similar to one I've seen in the past." There were several things that led to Zabuza leaving the village at Kire. Several things that made sure that the young Mizukage was still in power. And several people had been put down because of that. There were some incidents that, he was not fond of. But he was still in power and his village was thriving. "I'm gonna have to ask him about that," said Minato, despite already knowing that. However, it was just a way to flaunt his village strength and his son as well. The Kage did not look pleased as he sat there. The man was silent, and if you knew Oniki, he knew whenever he was silent he was plotting. Yes, he was plotting. In the nursery area, Kurosaki was able to be saved though. However, the scars that had run deep, they were permanent. After a few minutes, the next match was called. Kushina had thought through this whole thing, about her son and his behavior. She knew that she was never really close to Naruto in the beginning, but she was trying to get closer to him. It was like she was completely oblivious of the action and treatment that she put him through, just because he was quirkless. But in her eyes and Minato's eyes, Naruto has now proven himself to be a part of their family because, well, his quirk. How disillusional could they be? But they believe that Naruto would love to be more involved in things regarding the family, unaware that they've created someone that did not give a damn or care if they live or died, in a sense of, well, their well-being, but he wanted to make sure that he was the one that ended their miserable life in the most painfulest way possible. The next match was actually Menma versus Mikasa. As Naruto glanced up, seeing that he was sitting down leaned up against a wall, Mikasa made her way down there as Menma had a smirk on his face. "I warned you," he said to her. She did not answer him. "What? Now that you know that you're gonna face me, you're afraid?" However, she still did not answer him. As she was thinking to herself, she could not use her full capabilities because they could not draw attention to themselves right now. She could not ruin what her mother and father has planned for years now. So she had to keep her full abilities to herself, but this guy has seen what she can do, but she knew to an extent what he can do as well. But the problem was he was stronger than Mito by a whole lot, and she doubted the same trick would work on him. As the both of them faced off against each other, as the match began, Menma looked at her with a smug smirk. In the stands, the man that was supposed to be a civilian stood there, with his wife beside him, under a transformation that would not even be noticed by the Kages unless they had someone special to sense it out. "This boy, he's much stronger than his sister," the man said. His wife beside him spoke up. "Yes, but have faith in your little girl. Even if she does not win, she has come this far. She has proven herself more than once. Besides, she's holding back. And we both know what will happen if she resorts to use everything." The man nodded his head as the match began. Menma was much faster than Mito, taking faster to the quirk. More evolved more quickly, its chains moving like a blur. As Mikasa had already used her trick on Mito, as once she could not see, the game was over, but Menma would not allow her to get so close. And Mikasa could not use any of her other quirks. As the both of them clashed against each other, paper blades against kunai, Naruto actually stood up and started to watch the match. Even Sasuke was surprised by that, seeing that he had blocked out everyone else. But Sasuke was just hoping that he'd get to fight him. But given the numbers, he realized that wasn't going to be a possibility. He was probably going to fight the winner of the first match, that being that girl with the plants. But he was already planning for her, not to mention his quirk was a opposite for her, opposite to Hinata, so she would lose against him. That is what he believed. The match down low went on for 23 minutes, as Menma was taunting her the entire time. He flashed around using his superior speed, making sure that he keep away from her, well, blocking his vision. Once he could see, he could teleport towards the location. Granted, he had his range, but still. Not to mention Menma, quirk had evolved to the point where he could actually start to move things like his father. Thus, the battle became a lot more difficult. Granted, Menma did not have a, well, grasp of this to use it professionally or in a sense of fighting, but he had about 10% of that manipulation of moving things with his quirk. But still, 23 minutes the fight went on for, as Mikasa was not able to keep up. She was getting tired. Trying to blow him to pieces took a lot, and she could not rely on her other quirks. She could not reveal everything. She could not use her full power. Otherwise, this match would have been a lot more bloody for him. The both of them jumped away, as Menma stood there before he flashed behind her. He held out his hand as he performed his father's signature technique. A blue ball of power formed in his hand as he thrust it towards her back. She jumped away as the thing grazed her arm. She had used up a lot of her chakra, and she needed chakra to destabilize her body into papers. Menma flashed right in front of her as he slammed a fist in her guts. His hand did not release her Rasengan as he drove it in the ground. This was just to taunt her and put her in pain as a Rasengan blew the ground to pieces. Pieces of debris was flying through the air as Menma flashed around. He moved in as he kicked her and knocked her and blasted her away. She rolled as she landed. Menma rushed towards her, however, he looked down. When she rolled, she placed boom! An explosive on the ground. However, Menma teleported at the last moment, but still he got singed. You bitch, he said, glaring at her. She glared back at him with one of her eyes slowly shutting. Come on, I can do this all day, she said. As Menma held out his hand, he reached and pulled out several kunais. Upon doing so, he prepared himself. As Mikasa glanced towards him, she could feel her instincts to reveal everything. However, she glanced up, looking to where her mother and father was. She knew that if she went through with this, she would expose things that should not be exposed. And she was dead tired. She could not push herself any further without suffering from chakra exhaustion. I give up. What? I said I give up. Mifune arrived. You heard her. She gives up. The match is over. Menma scoffed. Pathetic. Here I thought that you were just a bitch, but you're also a coward. Say as you please. Your words don't affect me, because I know how much of a pathetic boy you really are. A little, insecure, pathetic garbage boy. What did you just say to me? You heard me. Alright, that's enough you two, said Mifune. Menma glared at her as she made her way off. As she got tended to by the medics for her slashes and wounds. However, she glanced up towards her parents in disguise. They were both smiling at her. That brought warmth to her heart. As she made her way, seeing that she wasn't that badly off except for exhaustion of her chakra which she needed to rest. As she was taken towards one of the recovery rooms. As she lied down in the bed. That is when she heard something. Did you left something? She said, thinking it was a nurse. However, she was surprised to see that it was you. What are you doing here? As Naruto stood by her bed, he looked over towards the table where there were several items. As he walked over. Why? He said. Why what? What are you doing here? Why didn't you defeat him? Naruto asked. What are you talking about? Clearly I lost. I was too exhausted. Yes, you were. But when the match just began, why didn't you use your other quirks? If you did that, you wouldn't have stand a chance. I saw. I felt it. The quirks that you have. Although I'm not sure what they all can do. The power that you have inside your body was more than enough to defeat him, yet you only focused on that paper quirk, tiring yourself out in the process despite knowing that he was much faster and stronger than Mito. Well, maybe I wanted to resign so you can be the one to kick his ass. And why would you do that? Because he deserved to get his ass kicked, but not by me. And now you're lying, said Naruto. Well, I'm not lying 100%. And besides, there are things that you don't know. I'm not like you. This is not my big revealing moment. I see, said Naruto as he started to walk away. Why did you come here to ask me that? To talk to me. You've been a cold-hearted bastard so far. Showing that you're not interested in actually, well, anything I say. As Naruto paused, before he poofed away. It was a clone, she said to herself. Back with the real Naruto, he sat down, his eyes closed, as he received the memories from the clone. He did not say anything. He was just curious why she did not go in for the full attack. But if she did hold back because of him, well, he was glad for that. Because the person that he wanted to humiliate the most was Menma. This was gonna be the day that he wished he never fought him. Because he was not just gonna fight him, he was gonna break him. Humiliation. Yes, he was gonna break him. Bad. Immensely so. A 15 minutes break was given. Through that 15 minutes, Naruto did not move, as he remained where he was. There was just the four of them left up there. Sasuke would be facing off against Samui first. Naruto glanced over as he opened the eye and saw Itachi, glancing over towards him. Once again his face was stuck in that unreadable expression. As Naruto looked down toward his hands, he could still feel the power inside of him, but not just that. All the quirks that he had stolen, his power and chakra, was growing as he did. As he thought about it now, there was no telling how much chakra he could have if he continued to steal quirks, and the more powerful the quirk, the more stronger his chakra increased, his stamina, his speed, his body, strength to accumulate this quirk. As that brought a smile on his face. The girl named Samui glanced towards him, seeing him smile to himself, but she said nothing. Once said 15 minutes were up. Well, it seems like we're getting back to the action, said Raza, even though he had no one down there to root for. Konoha had 3 members, and Kumo had 1. The teacher Kage was not here. It seems like he was not pleased to see any more of this. He was not the only one though. Gaara was not here either. He had gone off somewhere, and the match was about to start, and yet he was not here. But he did came back. However, the teacher Kage did not. Seems like he has more important matters to deal with, checking up on his granddaughter, which was wrapped up in bandages, a lot of them. Luckily, they had saved her life, but still, she would be scarred, and when she awoke, violent. However, he knew that he had to be there to witness what the Konoha ninjas were fully capable of. After all, from this day forward, all of them would be a target. So he returned, as the match was about to begin, as Sasuke and Samui stood down there. Both Sasuke and Samui stood off against each other. Samui glanced towards him, seeing that water was the life force of our plants. The opposite was true, as Sasuke explosions were explosive blasts of flames that could damage our plants, badly burn them, and they could also dry the water out of them. That is why, the moment the match begins, Sasuke held his arm out and cast a massive blast that radiated through the area. She was able to block, however, several of her plants got dried up. She did not wait anymore. She lashed out whips in a violent manner and attacked him. While that was going on, Menma stood in front of Naruto, as Naruto had yet to open his eyes or even look at him. "Look at me," said Menma, as Naruto still did not open his eyes. "Fine then. If you want to listen then. You're not gonna win this match. You think that you're something special just because you can steal other people's quirk. But know this," said Menma, "you are nothing. In the beginning you were a quirkless, worthless loser. No one cared about you. Father did not care if you live or die, if you eat, if you were healthy. All he cared about was that you were a disgrace to our name, that you were a problem, a shame. Did you know that the other clans people were talking about how a big disappointment you were? You could imagine our parents' shame when they found out that their worthless son was going to be going to the non-quirk academy with his worthless, quirkless friends. So they knew that you were nothing but a pure disappointment. Mother never gave a damn about you. She always cared for me and Mito more than you, because you were nothing more than her greatest shame, a disappointment that she brought in this world, that she probably wished she could get rid of. But she's a nice person, so she would not tell you that to your face, but I'm telling you now. So down there, when we fight, I'm gonna make sure that your parents remember that I am their son. Not you. You are a disappointment. Do you understand me?" said Menma. "You are an abomination that should have been extinguished a long time ago." That is when Naruto opened his eyes as he got up. The match was still raging down below, as the both of them were inches away from one another. The look in Naruto's eyes were calm as Menma was showing just rage. "You don't have to worry. I will never steal your quirk." "What?" "You see, I want you to have your quirk. When I do, shame you. Because today, when we go down there, I'm gonna hurt you in a way that you can't even imagine." I'm gonna permanently put you in a state of anguish. Something for you to remember this day always. That your insecurity will always be on full display for you to witness. You see, Menma, death is not on the doorstep for you. It would be too easy. You have been nothing but a piece of garbage to me my entire life. And I hate you. I despise you from the bottom of my heart. Even now. I'm shaking, said Naruto as he looked toward his hands. At the thought of ripping your eyes out and feeding them to you. However, I can't. Because it will just cause problem right here and now. So I'll wait. I'll wait for the perfect opportunity. When I can finally show you that you are nothing. Just a wannabe, daddy's boy. A little pampered sissy who always get what he wants, so he believes that he deserves greatness when he's nothing but a piece of hot garbage. So trust me, when I make my promise, when this match begins, I'll make it into a reality. I'll hurt you. I'll break you, Menma. And I want you to remember my words. Not if I kill you first, said Menma. Oh, so you're gonna kill me, said Naruto. You are nothing to me. We may have blood tie, but to me you are nothing. You're not my brother. You're just an embarrassment, a shame. And I'll kill you down there, said Menma. Well then, try your best. Please do. Because what I have in store for you is gonna make your life a living hell. So please try to kill me, said Naruto. I will love the challenge while I break you. We'll see about that, said Menma. That is when they heard winner Sasuke Uchiha. As a grin came on Naruto's face. The look in his eyes got Menma to step back. The bloodlust started to overtake the young individual. As it started to spread throughout the stadium, everyone snapped their gaze up. Oh, it seems I got a bit ahead of myself. I'd show off what to come, said Naruto. So, remember my words, okay? Said Naruto with a grin. After 5 minutes they were called. Sasuke had a few slashes and cuts, so he were taken to be bandaged up, seeing that he was going to be in the finals. The winner of this match would be facing Sasuke. Kushina did not like this, as she had a frown in her face. Why did her two boys have to fight? As Naruto walked down there, Menma following behind. As Menma steeled himself, he was gonna kill Naruto. He knew that his mother would be angry, so would his father, but they would understand after a time, he believed. He would kill Naruto today and now, ending him. Yes, he would do it. He would kill him, Menma thought. As both boys stood in front of each other, "Are the both of you ready?" Mifune asked. They both nodded. As Menma, what as Mifune brought his hand down. The moment he did, Menma flashed away. As he appeared behind Naruto, the kunai ready to bury into his skull. Death. That is what he will give his brother. Because he was nothing to him. Not even a brother anymore. Just because they were connected by blood. He was nothing but an abomination, a quirkless loser. It doesn't matter how much he has changed. And Menma was going to end his life. As a smirk came on Naruto's face. An actual happy smirk. As he was going to break Menma. He knew that he was behind him. Let him think that it would be that easy. The grin on Naruto's face became vicious. Let's play, he whispered. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want some next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But more for now, see you guys soon. Peace.